Hey there, it's Kim Butler with HomeSmart Realty Group, and I have a market update for you. We're going to give you a snapshot of the market, what's been going on in northern Colorado for the last 10 months. So everything that's happened in 2018, we're going to dive down city by city here in Loveland, Fort Collins, and Greeley, and do some comparisons and show you what's really going on. There's some interesting trends, and also hang in there and we'll give you the lowdown on mortgage interest rates. So let's dive in right now, okay? Iris is our multiple listing service for northern Colorado, and it covers the 11 counties that you see here marked in yellow. And here is a report showing the difference in home values in those 11 counties. The closer you get to Kansas and Nebraska, the lower the home prices are. Loveland started the year out with a 20.7% drop in the number of new listings compared to the previous January, and that created a shortage, and so you can see that the median sales price went up by 13.7%. Fort Collins only dropped 8.6%, and they actually had a slight drop of 1.3% in the median sales price for the month of January. The new construction going on in Greeley is more than Loveland, Fort Collins combined, and so you see a 26.3% increase in new listings for the month of January in Greeley and a 5.8% increase in the median sales price. In February, Loveland's new listings was down 25% from the previous year, but now the prices are only 1.9% more than last year, so the price has moderated. Fort Collins in February was down 13.4% on new listings, and the median sales price was now up by 2.4% over 2017. Greeley was just the opposite. They were up 17% in new listings because of the new construction, and median sales prices up 10.4% in February. In March, Loveland was still down 24.7% from 2017, but the price was climbing up a little bit to 3.6 over 2017. New listings in Fort Collins in March were still down 10.5%, and that pushed the prices up to 9.3%. In March, Greeley was pumping out new houses, so the new listing inventory was up 26.5%, and median sales price was up 7.4%. Loveland new listings rose sharply from being behind 25% to being ahead of 2017 by 13.2%, and the median sales price was 5.9%. The shortage of new listings in Fort Collins continued in the month of April, and the median sales price was up 5.1% over 2017. Greeley continued their amazing growth spurt in April with 33.6% more listings than 2017, and a median sales price was up 6.4% over 2017. Now we're into the month of May, the last days of school, and families start thinking about moving to new homes. Loveland new listings is still lagging behind in May by 14.5%, and the appreciation rate has slowed a little to 4.6%. New listings in Fort Collins picked up in May, and the median sales price backed off a little bit to 3.9%. The May new listings in Greeley slowed down to 5.5%, and the median sales price slowed down a little bit to 4.5%. In June, we saw a slowing in the market in Loveland. The inventory started picking up a little bit, but the median sales price was almost flat level with last year. In June, Fort Collins new listings fell to 18.6% behind last year, and that tended to hold the median sales price up at 4.9%. In June, Greeley continued to be the strongest market in our area, with 20.8% more new listings than last year and a median sales price of 8.1% more than last year. Now we're into the month of July, which is traditionally the peak of our seasonal real estate market. New listings in July for the city of Loveland was almost dead even with last year, and the appreciation rate was only 2.6%. New listings in Fort Collins for July was down 14.3% over last year, and the median sales price was up 6.6%. So high demand, low inventory. The number of new listings in Greeley during July dropped way down, but the median sales price stayed at 8.9% appreciation rate over last year. The number of new listings in Loveland dropped again in August to 12.4% less than last year, but the median sales price was up to 8.4%. The August new listings for Fort Collins is still 5.9% less than last year, but the median sales price is still staying strong at almost 10%. New listings in Greeley picked up a little in August compared to July, but the median sales price dropped a couple percent down to 6.9%. The number of new listings in September in Loveland was down 10.1% from last year, but the median sales price was up 9.1%. New listings in Fort Collins for September was down 13.8% compared to a year ago. The median sales price was up 4.6%, which shows a little slowing there. Greeley broke with tradition in September by adding 23.4% more new listings than the year before, and the median sales price jumped to 10.4%. Loveland added 9% more new listings in October than a previous year, and the median sales price was up 3.5%. Fort Collins still has a shortage of houses. They added 5.2% fewer listings in October than they did the year before, and therefore the median sales price continues to be fairly high at 6.6%. October new listings for Greeley was down from the previous month to 3.8% above last year. The median sales price continues to be strong at 6.1% appreciation rate over last year. Let's take a look at new listings in a graph form. Here you can see new listings for Fort Collins in blue, Loveland in red, and Greeley in yellow. And if you were comparing 2017 to 2018, the one consistent thing is December is our lowest month, and that cycle is pretty consistent. But over here in June 2017, in Fort Collins, it peaked in June, and in 2018 it peaked in May, and it didn't go as high. So it peaked sooner and started tapering off. The market was a little bit flat this summer, and you can tell that from these curves. Let's change this from 1 year to 3 years so you can look at 3 years. Here you can see the annual cycle goes up and down each year, and December is going to be your low point each year, but the high points have changed a little bit. We had in Fort Collins a pretty good spike and one in Loveland in 2017, but 2018 backed off a little bit, flattened out, and is a little bit more like it was a couple of years ago. What do you see here when you look at sales price? You can see that, like Greeley, 2018 is up, but it didn't keep just going up. It flattened out during this part of the year. In the early part of the year, it was appreciating, and then it leveled out for the rest of the year. Let's take a quick look farther back up to 5 years, and you can see that over in this time period is when that rapid appreciation was going on. But here in this last year, It has slowed down. The prices haven't really dropped, but they have leveled out in terms of price appreciation. And let's go back to the maximum number. Yeah, see, we go back to 2010. You can see where the prices were at 250, and after about 2014-15, that $250,000 range disappeared, and basically we added 100,000 to all those homes on the price. Rising mortgage rates played a big part in flattening out the real estate market in our area and across the whole country this summer. So I promised you some information on mortgage rates, so here it is. If you have subscribed to my mortgage daily or weekly news, you would already have this information. But you can see that in September, October, it hit a high on the mortgage rates, and here this first week of December it's backed off just slightly because the negative impact it's had on the housing market. We'll look at the average 30-year fixed mortgage rates since January of 14. You can see they were here, then they dropped in 2015, 2016 kind of hit a low. Then in 2017 they just took a big jump, but then it stymied the market, so they backed off a little bit, and then they give it another big jump to start out in 2018, and they've been pushing it up, trying. They got it almost up to pretty much to 5%, but they've backed off just a little. But be aware that they're pushing, the people that control the money, the financial world, they're trying to get the interest rates up. But that's one of the things that flattened out the market here this summer was this higher interest rate, and the high price of houses combined makes the affordability an issue. If you're in the market to buy a new home, or you know somebody that it is, it would be helpful to get a hold of me by email and subscribe. I can send you this information, get you signed up, and that way you'll know, because it really does make a big difference when you lock that rate in. You know, a year ago it was a full percentage point lower, and that's a big deal when it comes to the cost of a house. So let me know if you'd like this information, and I'll get it to you. So there you have a review of the market here in Fort Collins, Loveland, and the Greeley area of northern Colorado, and I hope this is helpful information to you to help you keep track of what the market is doing. It's always in flux, it's always moving, and it's not the same, as you can tell, from one city to the other. Real estate is a local market, and so if you want more information on a specific neighborhood or a city, I'd be glad to put that together for you in a more concise way, okay? So if you or your friends are looking to buy or sell a home in the next season, be sure and give us a shout. We're here to help you out, to make sure you don't make a mistake and you get the best opportunities that you can. It's a great time for buyers. The market has kind of cooled down a little bit so that it's not quite so frantic. It's kind of balanced a little bit. So buyers have a little more leverage than they've had for the last 2 or 3 years. So reach out to me and we're here for you, okay?